Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
Hey girl, I got something real important to show you. So just sit down and listen. Girl and boy, we've been together such a long, long time.
Such a long time.
Now we're on the move. Keep your hand on the line.
Wow, your eyes are tempted. Do not open wide. Don't want those crazy demons coming in my mind.
Feel lots of tweets. Please, girl, do not stop.
Don't take a look outside. Get some birds in a box. Not gonna name you or anything. No special treatment for a spring. Motion sensors going off in a car. Good, you know I'm not going far. Gonna scavenge a house in the hills. Keep that blindfold on for real. Sitting down in a burning car.
Stay out of there, girl.
Keep some birds in a box. Birds in a box, boy. Keeping birds in a box. Woo! Birds in a box, girl. They are wise enough to know that I love living, and I'm the only one. Crazies out here trying to shoot someone.
To survivors out there struggling in duress, it's easy to do. Just follow these steps. Groceries.
Find some birds for a box.
River ride.
Keep your hands on that box.
Freezer.
Don't put birds in that box. That's not the way you do it. Keep some birds in a box. Birds in a box, boy. Keeping birds in a box. Birds in a box, girl.
Insane murderers.
Birds in a box.
Whitewater rafting.
Birds in a box.
John Malkovich.
Birds in a box. Every single day you keep those birds in a box. Gang ass house really needs some birds in a box. Coffees didn't take those birds in a box. Why does a grocery have birds in a box? Wow, 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 wow.
This is Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me as always are my favorite boy and girl, Nate and Lisa.
Keep some birds in a box.
Yeah, hope you like the new rendition of that song we left on the opening of this episode for you. Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and review it with our unsuspecting victim, who is usually someone we would not consider a horror fan. Well, this week we decided to go whitewater rafting with our... It's been a while since we had this unsuspecting victim on. Patricia, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I think the last time you were on was Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I think so. That was quite a while ago.
No, it was Wait Until Dark.
Oh, was that after Dracula?
Yes, it was after.
Was it? I don't even remember.
Dracula was our seventh.
That was a
episode,
lifetime ago. That was a lifetime ago.
Yes. It was Wait Until Dark, I believe. That is a true story.
Oh, that's scary.
Wow. Yeah. Now, did you name your kid boy or girl? Which one did you name your kid?
Actually, in her medical records, she is legally called Girl Lowry.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to change that. We had to sign some forms.
Are you sure those forms got signed and filed properly? She may still be called Girl for legal reasons.
Her full name was listed as Girl Patricia.
Nice. Okay.
Well, that's good. That's good.
So you and Sandra Bullock in this movie a lot in common, just off the bat.
Yeah,
Wow.
except she willingly named her child that, whereas I had it thrust upon me by an inefficient hospital system.
They're just cranking out babies in this place.
Yeah, that's true.
They ain't got time to help you come up with your name for this. It's like, here, just figure it out on your own time. Well, thank you for coming back. Glad to have you back. Lisa, Nate, as always, welcome back. This is an interesting movie. I don't think we had planned on doing this originally, but considering how bombarded we've been with memes about Bird Box and, I think
no one can see this, but I'm doing the podcast blindfolded, actually, right now.
Yeah.
I drove here blindfolded. I just bird boxed the whole way here.
That's impressive.
It's a lot of one-upsmanship already happening early on. I was about to say, Lisa's going to try to bird box every horror movie going forward now. She's going to be having blindfolds in the movie. I'm ready to get into this one. So if y'all are ready, let's get into this week's debate question of the week.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
It's a damn shame when you run out of bubblegum. All that's left is the ass kicking. So, in this movie, it's called Bird Box because it's a metaphor because there are birds in a box that they use. They don't really explain why the birds, I don't remember why the birds are specifically
this is our third
tuned in.
This is our third bird related episode.
Yeah, we had to give Taylor a break.
They never say why the birds do it ever.
They're harbingers of doom.
Why they're harbingers of doom, or in this instance, why they're like the seeing eye dogs of this movie.
What if the birds were trying to warn them? You know, they just wouldn't freaking listen, so they had to peck them started. They're like, "Will you pay attention? There's something going on."
The animals always know first, right? That's
always.
So
Except for the animals in A Quiet Place.
They were predicting. They were predicting some sort of like unseen sight demons.
Yeah.
Well,
even back in the 60s.
Well, and Lisa, you bring up a very good point. You know, the animals in A Quiet Place were largely useless. Although they were raccoons. Maybe they're just not tuned in as much as birds are. I don't know, but
trash pandas.
Or maybe they're not as friendly to the human cause.
Right. They're just, trash pandas.
Oh, there's different animal allies that you can rely on in an alien invasion.
Well, and that's my question. So let's assume that more than just birds can be tuned in to detecting this, whatever the hell it is. What animal are you really hoping is tuned in, and what would you rather have besides birds in a box? And I would go first. Why not? I would want a freaking tiger. I feel like it's
how are you going to fit that in a boat, Mitch?
Yeah. Well, I would.
Have you ever seen Life of Pi?
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't they have a whole movie about that?
But wait a minute. You have to keep it in a box because if it looks at the thing, it's dead.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever been to LSU before?
Wow.
Wait, here's the thing, though. Does a tiger have a sense of self?
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Does it?
Yeah.
Do animals have
Nate
souls?
has a lot of tiger.
So you think it would die if it saw the entity?
No, I don't think it would. It's only humans for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay, so
because
it doesn't
we've
have
reached
to be boxed up.
self-actualization.
Or it's
Obviously.
just the demons are just targeting us because we're
So
the
you
worst.
want to wander around blindfold with a tiger?
Worked out for Siegfried
I
or
will-
Roy, one of them. It worked out really well for one of them.
Yeah, for half of that. I mean, that 50% odds are.
Hold on, we have to sort
good.
this out. So it's like AIDS, okay? So other primates have AIDS and they're fine. Then humans get AIDS and then we die. That's what these demons are, to me, anyway.
Yeah, I would be
like bird flu. Birds are fine, and then we get the flu, and then we.
I think the con of having a tiger is that I am blindfolded and I'm not leading the way. I'm going wherever this tiger drags.
You're
me.
blindfolded, trusting a tiger.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I'll take my chance. Although I don't really have to worry about going to find some civilization somewhere, some survivors. I'll just have the tiger.
Does the tiger have any other utility? Can you ride the tiger?
I would think so.
Are you assuming that that's going to happen?
I would think so.
Okay, why not like a horse? A horse box?
Because you can't see certain terrain. The horse bucks, throws you off. You hit your head and die.
But not a tiger.
I mean, I don't know. I just like I want the tiger.
Okay. Think about it. If the tiger kills you, you went out pretty awesomely.
Now, how much of your
I was
time?
just thinking more from the defensive perspective. Y'all are throwing a lot. I didn't think very hard about my answer.
I was gonna say, how much time are you willing to dedicate to scavenging for your tiger? Or are you is it a free range tiger?
Like a day. Like a lot.
Look, I'm largely comfortable with my tiger eating other people. So it's
that's
Okay. Well, this movie, they would get the chance.
Yeah.
We'll get into it, but yeah.
So now, is it going to eventually turn after me? I assume so, but largely I don't want to live in this world for that long anyway.
Okay.
I feel like I need the tiger with me to establish kind of a kingdom. Very much, I'm going real Walking Dead kind of strategy here. Get the tiger, have like a kingdom underneath me, and the tiger is sort of my, enforcer.
Okay.
And then everything else will work it out. I mean, I assume there's no real cure for this. It's
It's Tiger Box.
Yeah.
Okay.
The tiger box is the mansion or whatever that I'll be living in with my followers, and they're all in the tiger box with me.
Okay, it's like a Thunderdome.
Probably a lot of mansions
Yes.
actually have tiger boxes.
Yeah,
That's what I assume rich people buy.
I would. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lisa.
So I was going to say a dog, but the problem with a dog
Dog box.
is it's going to bark at anything and everything.
A bark box.
Oh, wait, you're saying the birds are more discerning and they're tweeting of what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You get a dog, that dog's going to bark at another person. If there's a leaf blowing across the road, it's going to bark at that. I mean, it'll
You
never
could get a
stop
seeing
barking.
eye dog.
True.
They're trained not to bark, I think.
Then would they bark at the thing?
That's true.
Yeah.
There's
they'd be too well behaved.
They stop you because they're letting the demon cross.
They're like, whoa,
Like,
hold on now.
whoops.
Okay, now
But
you
without
can go.
getting into too many spoilers early, I just feel like all the seeing eye dogs are probably taken.
True.
True.
But maybe. I mean, there are certainly probably some breeds that would. So what if you had to go? So you're not going with dog then?
No, I mean, I just feel like there'd be too many false alarms. I'd constantly be terrified, and there would be no danger.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think of what other animal
Because normally you love dogs. So,
I do.
yeah, normally.
Oh,
Or is that more Mitch? It's more Mitch then.
Mitch. I mean, I love our dog.
I did not choose dog for this very reason. If it was my dog, I'd be screwed. My
That's
dog
what
would
I'm
be-
saying. Our dog would, yeah,
Okay.
she would lead us into
Yeah.
danger.
It could be a better dog.
She would lead us into danger because inevitably there'd be a piece of food there,
I
and she
see.
would just go for it,
Yeah,
and we'd be done.
We'd either be in the same place for hours because she's sleeping, or we'd be
Sniffing
tracking
everything.
Down. Yeah, we'd be wandering around in circles because she wants to sniff every corner.
It wouldn't
of
work.
The,
Okay.
Yeah, the area.
I don't know. I can't think of birds really are, and I think that's part of the reason they picked them. They're a very good type of animal for this sort of situation. I mean, I'm not going to do a snake.
So your answer
Not
is
gonna
nothing?
do-
You got to come up
No,
with an answer.
birds. I think they chose the right animal. I
She
really
thinks they
do.
nailed
I
it.
was trying to think.
Is there a specific? What about an
I'm not going
eagle?
to take an elephant,
Would you go with like an eagle or a condor?
a horse, but then a horse would throw you off its back probably.
Horse isn't
it
a
got-
bird.
No. Sorry, I was just saying. I was
Hard hitting analysis there,
In
Patricia.
this future, the bird horse hybrid. It's a Pegasus? Is that what you're talking about?
I wasn't listening to
Hold
Mitch.
on. A
I was
horse
trying to
with
find
wings.
an animal still.
Can I go
So
Pegasus?
what, an eagle or a condor, you
Yeah,
said?
sure.
A condor is a large box.
Okay, I want the bird from Lord of the Rings. What are the birds from Lord of the Rings?
What
giant
box?
eagles?
Where is you getting this box?
You don't need a friggin' box with those things. They'll just fly you over the river.
Yeah, okay. We'll get into the logic of these things later. But okay.
So Lisa wants a mythical beast.
But what you're thinking, we're saying no animals are affected by this thing, right?
No, you're saying that you could pick an animal that would be your guide animal that would not be affected.
But what I'm saying is the reason that they kept these birds in a box is not because they didn't want them to die. It's that they didn't want them to fly away.
Yes.
That's what I was assuming.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you had the giant eagles from Lord of the Rings, they're not going to die, but they can fly you places. That's my answer.
I like how Mitch's tiger is more practical. How is this possible?
Yeah, really, I did not. I thought I was setting the bar low.
Yeah.
and
Jesus.
Whatever. Think about it for a minute.
I mean, you're flying off of that eagle. You don't know where you're flying off to. Probably to
you're
its nest to get
blindfolded.
You
eaten.
don't know where you're going with your damn tiger.
You're blind, but at least when he gets thrown off, it's like 5 feet. You're like 500 feet straight down.
Just
Fine.
run backwards.
It's fine.
Patricia, what about you? What animal?
Well, now I'm a little embarrassed because I guess I'm thinking a little bit too small. I was going to choose newt. because it's small, it's portable, it fits in a box, it's
newt?
quiet. Here's the thing. You don't know where you're going to be a year from now, right? You might still be in this gorgeous house, or you might have taken a trip down the river. Newts, they can survive in aquatic environments, and they can survive in terrestrial environments. So it's a very versatile pet.
By that logic, why not a platypus?
Well, am I going to be lugging a box full of platypus?
Well, you just need one, I think. I don't a platypi.
Yeah, platypi. Yikes.
But would a newt be loud enough to warn you?
Well,
Yeah, what's a
I was
newt
assuming
sound?
I was assuming
Yeah.
it had one of those flicky little tongue things that it could
Okay.
flick at me when.
So your hand would be in the box the whole time, just waiting for it to like flick on your hand to let you know.
I didn't really think it through, but I feel like
Patricia, none of us did.
I feel like here's the thing. I feel like I'm less likely to die at the hands of my pet than either of you are.
Now, that's true.
That's true.
That's true.
That is fair.
But maybe more likely to die at the hands of these beasts, these the invisible beasts, because my pet didn't warn me or I didn't notice its warning. So,
Okay.
pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with the newt, though.
I like it.
So I had a similar thing, but with a cooler animal. So animal that can be in water, but can also be on land. I went with an otter.
Oh, I wish I had gone with otter.
Otterbox. First of all, Otterbox. Already a great name.
My gosh.
Secondly, they can help me scavenge for food. And I can put a leash on them. They can kind of guide me around, and they have little cute clicking sounds that they make. That will warn me when the invisible
And when you're
things are
going down
coming
the
through.
river, you hold hands.
Well, no, they only do that
As
with their
otters do.
They can
significant
dunk a
others.
basketball also.
If
There's
that-
not many people left in the world, Mitch.
But
I mean,
hey, that otter doesn't have to just settle. Is all I'm saying.
How
It doesn't
fast?
just settle for Nate. It could like press its luck.
Well, I'm trapping the otter, but then he comes to like me.
So your otter has Stockholm syndrome?
Yeah, basically. Look, the world is going to hell, all right? This otter needs me. I need the otter.
You're like, look, this world's gonna end. So
Yeah.
it's me or nothing, otter. So
Nate and the Beast.
Exactly. But the otter would be good. I think the
Tail
otter would be
as
pretty
old as
soft because you could carry it.
time.
You could carry it. You could walk it on a leash, and you could put it in a
How
box.
fast can an otter move on land?
Pretty fast. They're like little scurrier kind of thing.
Okay.
They scurry.
Scurriers?
They scurry well.
Wow. All right.
they scurry well for your
Not too
sense of-
fast, not tiger fast, like so I couldn't keep up if I was on a leash, but I think enough. And I'm stronger. Like they couldn't like pull you away like a dog. It would be like I think it'd be manageable.
I think so. All good answers. I'm going to say the tiger's the winner, and I say because
What? Why?
because
I don't think so.
because
Okay, so
the
when you're-
tiger would eat your otter, and then where would you be? You would not know because you'd be blindfolded, wondering why your otter is not floating.
Well, you'd
with
be
you
already
anymore.
murdered. You'd be dead forever ago. It's like I need to find something else to eat after I ate Mitch. And
He
then
may only
there
take
we
a
go.
few fingers. He may not eat
And then,
all of me.
when you get inside, though, so then a lot of the movie they're inside, right? Most of the movie because outside is the murdering things. The otter is super cute in a like an indoor environment. I don't know if a tiger would work so well inside.
It will in
You need
my
like a barn or
it will
something.
in my newly created paradise.
Like where are you housing this massive eagle? Like an old airplane hangar? Like you try to get there and then you
Where does it live normally? It'll make a nest.
In Mordor.
it just drops you in a nest every time. and the nest is
Lisa's
out.
living at the top of Mount Rushmore.
I'm safer in the trees.
I will say an otter is
right.
probably the one that will help you out the most with the ladies or members of the opposite sex,
It's like
when
walking
you
a
have
dog
to-
in the park.
Yeah.
Nice
That's a
to have
real
this-
cute otter you got there.
Oh, sorry, my otter was just coming up to you because you're so beautiful. Oh, hey, how's it going? How's your apocalypse going?
Someone
Come here
has to
often?
repopulate the earth.
Yeah, scavenge here often. Yeah.
It's not going to be the guy with the tiger or the lady living in a nest.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Bird
nest-
person.
Yeah, the lady in the nest not doing it. But
This is why you don't get a dog because the dog would lead you to a mannequin and you'd just be sitting there talking.
I feel
to
like
it.
there's someone crazy enough to go, oh, you got a tiger? I'm down with this.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Someone is. If you are someone who is down with having a tiger as your or if you have a better animal suggestion, let us know at TX Pod Massacre on Twitter, at Texas Podcast Massacre on Instagram, Facebook. You can comment on the website, TexasPodcastMassacre.com, and then also send us emails. Whatever if you have a better answer, and you likely do, let us know. With that said, I think let's get into this week's movie of the week, Bird Box.
How have you been feeling? Have you been sleeping any better?
Oh, rough. Then again, I never slept well before. I was
Condition? It's called pregnancy. It's okay to say it out loud. Something's happened.
Can you just please drive?
Did you see something?
Come inside! What's going on?
People describe seeing an entity that takes on the form of your worst fears.
Oh my God.
What are you looking at? What did you see? What is wrong with you? Please stop it!
We can't stay here.
Every contact we have had with the outside has brought us death.
Your kids, they deserve hope.
Every single decision I have made has been for them.
They're gone.
Okay, so for Bird Box, Patricia, it's been a while since I don't think we had this tradition when you were last here. Now we've asked our unsuspecting victims to give sort of the elevator pitch for what this movie's about. So if you're going in to talk to your friends tomorrow, you're gonna say, "Hey, what were you doing last night?" You're gonna say, "Oh, I was reviewing Bird Box." And I say, "What's that?" Because I assume you probably have friends who also don't watch horror movies.
That's true.
How do you describe Bird Box
So
to someone?
just quick pitch for the bonus episode Patricia and I did that was just released on A Quiet Place, since we'll probably be chatting about that one in here.
Yeah.
And Patricia did the elevator pitch in that one for Quiet Place. So
excellent. So
she's a seasoned veteran.
Yeah, I definitely, if you need to catch up on A Quiet Place, I'm sure we'll be talking parallels. Check that out. So, Patricia, what is your pitch for what this movie is about?
Okay, so basically it's if someone made the movie The Blind Side without actually knowing what The Blind Side was about.
Hold on.
Oh, this is too great
to The Blind Side.
This is too great to just let that just sit there. I love it. This is the real Blind Side.
Yes. I mean, that's it.
That's it.
That's great.
Wait, hold on. Can we get the killer? We can get the Killers to do the soundtrack. That would
Killers.
be amazing.
Nice.
Mr. Blindside.
Mr. Blindside. I love it.
That would be really good. All right, done. Can we end the podcast?
Yeah,
we're done.
Yeah.
All right, well.
All right, so Nate, what can you tell us about this movie?
Yeah, so this movie released at the end of last year on December 21st. It is generated, so it's 124 minutes and it's generated about 5 memes per minute of the movie. There are literally like hundreds of memes about this.
Yeah.
It's a 6.7 on IMDb and a 62% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I think it's generally kind of liked. The tagline is "Never lose sight of survival." Lame.
It's not
Never
the worst.
lose sight of survival. We get it. You're blindfolded. Like you're not that clever. Just like this movie, not very clever. The director of the movie was Suzanne Bier. She's from Copenhagen, so that's really cool. She's directed the Night Manager TV series, which is great.
That one was good.
That Serena movie with Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence. She's doing a movie a show called The Undoing with Nicole Kidman on HBO.
Okay.
Next year. And she won an Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film in 2011 for the film In a Better World.
Okay.
So Oscar winner to Bird Box. Lisa, lateral move, up move, down move. What do you think?
She's got Sandra Bullock, so.
Okay, so you say it's positive?
Yes.
Okay. The main actress in this movie is Sandra Bullock.
Sorry, spoilers.
She featured in The Blind Side, 2009. That's in my notes.
Good parallel. Nice.
In the same
Welcome
year,
to the joke.
Yeah.
The same year, she was in Ocean's 8. So 2018, she did Ocean's 8 and this movie. Gravity, The Heat, The Lake House. Another great horror film, The Lake House. And then she was also in Ocean's 8 with Sarah Paulson, who was her sister in this movie as well. So she got her the gig after she was in Ocean's 8 with her. She's like, ooh, make her be my sister in the movie for
that was really nice of Sarah Paulson.
Roughly like 8 minutes of the movie, she was her sister, and then that was it. Sarah Paulson is obviously Mitch's favorite from being an American Horror Story. She's in Glass, this year's M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yep.
She's going to be in the 2019 horror thriller Run, and she's playing Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in a Netflix series this year. So she's doing a lot of horror stuff.
Not only that, I think she's also directing a good bit as well. She directed one of the better episodes of American Horror Story this season. So I think she's kind of dipping into that as well. She's definitely got a good sense for horror. So I'm hoping we'll keep seeing a lot of good things from her.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then the other cast in this movie, you got Lil Ray, the best TSA agent in the world.
Yep.
You got Being John Malkovich. You got Machine Gun Kelly for some reason. Car thief, Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
You got Trevante Rhodes from Moonlight and last year's Predator. And you got B.D. Wong, who is White Rose.
Shout
Mr.
out
Robot.
to, say his name again, Trevante
Rhodes.
Yeah, Longhorn. Reppin' strong. Reppin' strong.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll add a Texas fight song and post.
Wait, was Vince,
Thank
was Vince Young not in this movie? No.
It's a shame.
Vince Young can't read the script.
Oh.
He was in the Nutcracker this holiday season, though, in Austin. As a celebrity cameo guest.
What did he do?
I don't know. Wow, how do I respond to that?
Did they all blindfold themselves for that role?
This movie was based on the 2014 novel Bird Box by Josh Mallerman. John Malkovich apparently would talk to the birds on set, and the cast said he had a bizarre connection with them.
Of course he did.
He has a bizarre
that sounds right.
everything
Apparently,
with everything.
he told the birds to move their feet, and then they did.
Okay, you can't really take credit for someone for like a bird walking.
I don't know. I think John Malkovich can take credit for whatever he wants. Sandra Bullock acted with a real blindfold for about half of this film shoot.
Wow.
She's blindfolded, like for real. And the director, she's like, "Oh, maybe not." She's like, "No, I'm doing it."
Yeah.
The Blind Side prepared me for this. I was blindsided in that movie. Now I'm literally blind.
She was colorblind, and then she's really blind.
Exactly. My whole life has been building up to this blindness.
It's macular degeneration, if you will, of a sort.
And that's it.
Good.
All right.
That's it.
And that's it.
She's still colorblind in this
My
movie.
goodness. All right. So overall thoughts about this one. Patricia, as our guest, what were your kind of general thoughts?
I mean, I love Sandy Bullock. I'll watch literally anything with her in it, and I will love it no matter how terrible it is. So,
ooh, what's her worst? Hold on. What's her worst movie? I'm gonna try to think of one.
What's the one that she won the Razzie for?
Oh, I don't know.
She won a Razzie?
Yeah, like something.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I'm sure Adam Sandler was involved.
Yeah,
I feel like
Adam Sandler.
It was the same year as The Blind Side, I believe.
What?
She won the Oscar and
All About Steve.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
She won Worst Actress. All About Steve. I don't even remember what that movie is.
The same year she won Best Actress.
Which Melissa McCarthy is potentially going to pull the same thing.
You like Speed 2 Cruise Control?
Oh, that's a
God,
classic.
she was in that.
Yeah.
I remember there was a Speed 2. I didn't realize she was in it.
Keanu Reeves was like, hard pass. And looks like, I don't know, on a boat. I'll sit on a boat for a while. That's fine.
How much you going to pay me? Oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, The Net. God, there's so many good movies here.
Yeah, I certainly like most of the movies in her later career than earlier.
Oh, you loved Speed. Come on.
Oh, no, I mean, I love Speed. Don't get me wrong. But, how can we forget Demolition Man?
Well, Demolition Man, yeah. The shells, of course.
God, oh, the seashells.
So she had a 3-year gap where it's almost like a 5-year gap, really, between like Gravity and The Heat to like Ocean's 8.
Is that when she was married to the Nazi?
What? She's married to a Nazi?
Yeah, right? Like he had all that Nazi paraphernalia and
what's that biker guy?
Jesse James? Somebody?
Jesse James? She took the lake house back to the 1800s.
Oh, Jesse James.
Married Jesse James.
It was Jesse James.
Yeah, she filed for divorce once the photo came out. Yeah.
I know nothing about this. I don't know.
It's been a while.
Okay.
Taking a dark turn.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Jesse James posed as Adolf Hitler while dating Sandra Bullock.
That sounds all right.
So
taking a small break.
It's like it's like a really it's like a really bad version of the Secret Hitler game. Just real bad.
Not so secret.
Not so secret Hitler. Yeah. So anyway, So otherwise, so Sandra Bullock, she can do no wrong.
She can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Except date the Nazi, but she broke up with him. So
yeah. So she redeemed. Yeah. Nate. Now I when I watched this movie, I was pretty positive you were not going to be a fan. Was I correct?
You were correct, sir.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Why did you think I would not be a fan?
No children died, and you usually tend to like children getting murdered or dying in horror films. So that's already strike one.
Sure.
To me, it just seemed like it was too much of other movies that have already come out. So it probably didn't. I mean, it just wasn't anything there for you.
So so this movie's on Netflix.
Yeah.
And almost everyone has Netflix apparently. So you can watch this and come back. So we're going to spoil all this, but the thing I hated about the movie, the thing I disliked about the movie the most was the logic of the invisible demon things. First of all, are they demons? What are they? Can we?
I don't know.
My theory is invisible basilisks.
Invisible basilisks. But if they're invisible, can't they just be any shape?
Well, because how else do you explain like 1,500 people being in the street and only some of them seeing this thing and killing themselves, right? It has to be an eye contact sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. What are these things? So we got basilisk. I'm just going to say they're pygmies. I don't know. Leprechauns? It could be anything. You never see them.
Something big enough that it can shake a car.
A bunch of leprechauns working together. It's like a World War Z of invisible leprechauns, just like cascading.
I like the leprechaun idea. Do I think it's leprechauns? No, I don't know what
it could be. Anything. If it's invisible, it could be literally anything.
I guess the way I pitched it to Lisa was that these are the Bogarts or what are Boggarts from Harry Potter. That's how I was. That's what
you tried a Harry Potter movie.
Well, because this movie came out during Christmas. How was I going to convince Lisa to watch this shit during a Christmas?
There's imagine there's a million invisibility cloaks.
It's an invisible basilisk. That's my theory.
With an invisibility cloak, but I don't know how it makes you go insane if it's invisible.
But that's why he compared it to Boggart, because it's supposed to show you your worst fear.
Oh.
That's why people go insane.
But you don't know if it's, they say mom, but is your worst fear mom? Because someone literally
you don't know what they're seeing.
Mom dying.
It could be their mom dying on fire.
But I kind of at least agree with you, Nate, in that it never was the same reaction. Some people were just like, oh, it shows you the truth. They fell in love. The weird cult people that aren't really a cult, but they're sort of weird because they're like,
way to stigmatize the people in the insane asylum.
Right.
Oh, the people in the insane asylum are become murderers. Wow, that's convenient.
Yeah,
because they're all because mental illness is all the same. Oh, schizophrenia or multiple personalities, it's the same thing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Also, we're jumping ahead.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
No, I just wondered if it would actually have affected the babies, because
of course it would.
They just got here. What do they have to freak out about?
Might be a sociopath. You never know.
Yeah, they're crazy babies. Baby is crazy from birth and tries to get other people.
I didn't see any skin-on-skin contact, and that's from what I hear. That's
Oh, the baby just tries to go.
Make a normal baby.
The baby just tries to go back. I think that's really
go back in.
Yeah.
Jesus, Mitch.
Yikes.
I got quiet on the side of the table.
This movie. No
kidding.
Yikes. So yeah, that's the reason I didn't like it, is because the rules made no sense. So A Quiet Place had some interesting, it didn't make sense maybe the entire time, but generally the premise was pretty solid. This one, the things are invisible. They infect everyone differently. You have no idea what people are seeing. Maybe if they would have showed what someone was seeing, kind of superimposed, then it would have made sense. But they showed nothing, so it's just a throwaway for me. It was The Happening, basically, for me.
Yeah, I feel like I could have survived in this environment better than A Quiet Place. What do y'all think? Could you have survived in this scenario or A Quiet Place scenario more likely?
A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place is way easier.
This one, I'm super loud all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
I am too, but it would be so hard not to see.
let's be uncouth, but I mean, what? Let's say you end up eating some leftover Mexican food and you just rip out a loud fart. They're on you.
You do it by a waterfall. Done.
I talk in my sleep.
Where's a waterfall in Texas?
A lot of them. There's some by Austin.
Look, plenty of people
Some
have
by
very
Austin.
nice water features in their backyards. You could just go, camp out in a rich neighborhood.
Just go move in at New Braunfels or
you have a generator.
Schlitterbahn
You have a
water
generator where you're playing music really loudly all the time, so that they get used to it, and then you can just hang out in there. But do they use that to torture people, like loud music all the time? Sure, but you're just torturing yourself, so it's fine.
Well, I feel like here there are ways that you could build. I don't know. You could get like tarps and stuff and make covered walkways to everywhere you need to get. Whereas in a quiet place, you literally just have to be quiet all the time in your sleep, every time.
Yeah.
Unless you soundproof an area like we were talking about.
Yeah, if you soundproof, then your money.
No.
The thing about the bird box is, okay, so you leave a door open and you die. In the quiet place, you leave a door open, you're okay.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in a quiet place scenario.
I will say a quiet place seems like it would be a little more forgiving, right? Because you're right. If the minute you just take a glimpse outside, you're screwed.
Yeah, because at least in a quiet place,
there's no room for error.
A quiet place, you can do diversions to at least prolong. You might still die, but you could set off some fireworks or something, and then you might live. Here, you just look outside for 1 second, and the leaves rustle, and then you die.
That's true. How do you think these monsters have do they have an alarm system or something set up when a window opens and they just swoop in?
They have their own motion sensors like the car.
That was very confusing.
I don't know if the rules make no sense. Because at one point she looks around, she's fine. And then the leaves rustle. I don't know what that means.
That means it's there.
It could be the wind.
It does.
Yeah, are these things wind? This is demon wind. It's basically the happening.
Demon wind.
And M. Night Shyamalan's the happening.
They just kill for fun, evidently. We never see them eating anything or ravaging the bodies.
That's true.
They just murder for the heck of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the beginning of this movie, Mitch. Sandra Bullock is, instead of adopting a kid, she is having her own this time. Sarah Paulson's her sister.
Yeah, I'm going to say, just from early prospects, don't think he's going to be a good football player. So,
this kid,
swing and a miss.
This kid's not going to be a lineman. Not a lineman. No. Maybe a punter. Maybe a punter.
They don't make much.
But the beginning of this movie, you're supposed to set the scene for the characters and whatever. Yeah. Did this impact you at all? Anybody? Did the setup do anything for you? I did not care at all.
No, it didn't make it.
But Lisa, what do you think?
Yes, because I was recently pregnant, and to get into that situation where you're starving all the time when you're pregnant, and now you got to ration your food, you got to ration your water. You're not as in a comfortable position as you were before. I felt bad for her.
So they're running out of food. When you're pregnant, you have to eat a bunch of additional calories.
Yeah.
So how did that work?
That's what I don't know. Either she was starving all the time or what. But I mean, I don't think anyone else gave a crap about her baby, so they weren't going to give her extra.
Well, to be
rations.
fair, she didn't give a crap about her baby, so
that's fair. It was
she did enough to keep the baby alive. It's not like she got rid of the baby.
I mean, sure, she allowed her sister to drag her to her own doctor's appointments.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
To see the thing.
The low bar.
Well, does this movie take place in Canada? Because I mean, then it's free. Why wouldn't you?
No,
right?
It did not.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't know.
It was in
I'm
California.
sure that artists have really great insurance, health insurance.
Yeah,
oh, sure,
yeah.
Sure, yeah.
The silver plan or something. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
No. So the early stuff with her being in the hospital and them painting the picture of her just being a reluctant mother, I guess.
Yeah. And what is this, like The Office? Like she had this guy named Ryan and then he ditched her. Right?
Yeah.
That's the only reason. I'm pregnant and Ryan left.
I think the premise would have worked a lot better if she had been pregnant, if she had just become pregnant or something right before it happened.
Yeah.
And then, her sister, I mean, we'll go ahead and say her sister ends up dying pretty early on. And then she doesn't want to connect with the kids because she's just worried they're going to die anyway. That would have made a little bit more sense than her just being like, whatever about this kid.
Yeah. So Lisa, is this how your ultrasound went? You were just like, the doctor's like saying, hey, you have to realize you're having a kid. Like, that's what the conversation was.
No,
like,
I refuse.
I refuse to believe I'm having this kid. Yet I'm here looking at an ultrasound.
Hey, I create my own
of a
truth.
fetus that's inside me.
I live my own truth. Okay.
Well, that's all right. Yeah. So then I guess the creepiest part of the entire movie is like when it's the all hell breaks loose segment.
Yeah.
There's a lady in the hospital who slams her head against the window. That was sufficiently creepy.
Yep.
I thought,
it was.
right?
I mean, that's when we realized it's not just Russians.
Yeah, it started in Romania. I don't know what Romania did. But
I know. I told Mitch, I was like, poor Romania. They always get such a bad rap.
That's rough. And then
the tourism board there's like, God damn it, not again.
Yeah, and then all my friends in Hungary bordering right to the west, they're like, they went down early also, which is sad. But yeah, so then she does that, and then there's the escape the hospital scene. Her sister sees her mom. She says mom, right? I didn't make that up.
Yeah. They're talking to her at one point.
There's a car crash. There's a million car crashes. Everyone's running. A lady gets into a burning car. That was also
that was pretty creepy.
Yep. And then the movie wasn't creepy or scary for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, they really just blew it all up right here, and then that was largely it. Outside of then, and this is it goes back to why I think A Quiet Place to be harder, because they were managing, and then they had to have like psychos come in to shift the odds again against you.
Yeah, I don't know. What'd you guys think about? What you guys think? What was the best part of the movie? Do you think So for me, the beginning was the best, like the escape, getting to the John Malkovich house segment. Was there a better part for you guys? Do you guys have the end, the beginning, the boat?
Well, this real quick. This movie's done in sort of a weird way too. I guess before that.
Oh, don't get me started about. Everything's flashback, so you know who survives and who doesn't survive.
Well,
she's all by herself with 2 kids. Oh, look, I'm with this guy and everything's great. You know he's dying.
Yeah.
Hate it.
The 3 separate timelines.
I hate it.
So the fact that, so I guess in line with your question about what part did you like better? Like, what was your favorite part? But how did you like the back and forth between the very long trek, and the whitewater raft versus going back in time and seeing everything unfold? Did you like that approach? Would you rather have been more linear?
I liked it. Because I think if they had done it all linear, by the time you hit the river, that would have been a lot to sit in the boat for 30 minutes.
Well, Moonlight dies. The guy from Moonlight.
That's fine, but you don't know the circumstances.
Yeah, but he dies. It's like, why do I care if I know you're going to die?
So you're not a fan of prequels, I'm guessing.
Yeah, if I know what's going to happen, it's like, oh, great. We get it. There were wizards. Voldemort happened, and whatever the fantastic monsters or whatever the crap those things are called movies with the Stephen Hawking guy.
What in the hell Fantastic are you talking about?
What words are coming out of your mouth?
The guy who played Stephen Hawking.
Eddie Redmayne,
who's also in those fantastic
beasts,
whatever, monsters, beasts. Maybe the Fantastic Beasts.
They're not monsters,
movie.
Nate.
That's the whole
point of the first movie. They're not monsters.
Like I said, don't care about it. But
clearly,
but no, I think it removed the tension because that he dies, because you think in the movie, her and I just can call him Moonlight. Her and Moonlight are having like a good existence.
To be fair, I like it.
they apparently live for many years together because the kids grow up and. He was there when the kid was born, so it was like, oh, this is going well, but he's dead. Like, he has no chance.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucked for me.
Yeah, I don't know. Patricia, what did you think? What was your favorite, or what scene stuck out to you the most?
Well, so I liked the 3 timelines. It did make me actually want to read the book because I could see that working really well, maybe in book form, maybe a little better than in the movie.
Yeah.
I liked the vindication of John Malkovich. Right? I mean, he was right about so much.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that, spoiler alert, he died. pretty spectacularly.
Everyone died.
Everyone died.
Because they're not in the boat at the end. They're
not
dead.
Not the two a-holes who took the car.
You know what?
Yeah, we don't know.
You know what? They died.
Yeah, Lucy and Felix.
They died.
Bird Box 2.
I'd like to see their story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it when he was vindicated. Unfortunately, he was a little bit of a jerk, but
well, you know what?
Clearly was speaking common sense, and everyone ignored him.
Look, jerks with the last name of Kelly who are musicians. This guy is not the worst.
True.
Yeah, I didn't need to see Machine Gun Kelly's ass in this movie.
Yeah, that's okay.
Was not necessary.
It's
for
fine.
the
So there's a bunch of characters in this house that all get picked off one by one. Any standouts for you guys? I liked Lil Ray.
I was gonna say Charlie was my favorite. Lil Ray.
He went from TSA agent and Get Out to like novel writing conspiracy theorist grocery store worker.
Yeah.
Loved it. He was great.
Yeah. I mean, he's the most relatable to anyone who's watched a shit ton of YouTube videos about the top 10 dark web conspiracy.
The Illuminati. You can see the eyeball at the top of the U.S. Capitol building.
Yeah, he has kept Looper hits going over and over.
But he sacrifices himself to save the group. I have one question for you, Lisa. What grocery store has birds in a cage in it?
Actually, there's one really near our house. It's like kind of an organic.
They have birds for sale?
But I could see it there. Like any place that sells like kitschy, kind of locally sourced stuff.
This place had a liquor aisle. I don't know.
If
well, look, maybe this is like a Portlandia sort of thing, like where they just, like maybe if this is in Alabama, Mississippi, there's ferrets.
Ferret box.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just a regional thing. There certainly aren't any here in Texas.
Well, in California, there was that whole bird store in the birds. So maybe
there is a gas station in Louisiana with an actual live tiger. So I'm just letting you know where I'm getting my tiger from. In this situation.
You've got your plan set. You know where you're getting your tiger.
That tiger does not look very well fed.
Tiger.
That's not going to be.
That tiger is. How many teeth does the tiger have left? You're not fearsome anymore.
I don't know. Has it been declawed? I don't know. Of all the characters, I think Patricia, you were spot on. John Malkovich is he's the best.
John Malkovich is the dick who's only looking out for himself, says they shouldn't help anybody. Although his wife did walk into a burning car right in front of him. So
and they were shockingly unsympathetic to that, to his emotional journey after that.
But it wasn't even that guy's house, and he was trying to run the show, and he was a total dick. No. If he would have been this nice and said the same things, I think they all probably would have survived longer.
Well, I like how he's like, we got to the supermarket. Why don't we just stay here?
That's a good. That's not terrible idea.
Yeah.
Someone should have just gone back for everyone else and brought him and stayed
Why?
there.
They stole the car right after. That was how he was rewarded for going back to help him.
That's
Machine Gun
true.
Kelly stole the car and is off.
Now,
Rude.
if this, I hate the rules of this thing. If they're invisible, but they set off the sensors, that means they have mass, correct? To set off the sensors.
Yes.
And the sensors aren't just set off by like a twig, right? Like it has to be something big. So they're invisible, but they're big.
What sensors? What are you talking about?
In the car. There's like those parking sensors, right? That shows and they were all around.
Yeah.
So that means that they weigh a lot and they're invisible. What the fuck is that? What is that? Like when he pulled the things off the when the one guy. So another thing I hated is that some people see the things and then they're like, "Ooh, I need to show everyone else these things." He pulls newspaper off windows and they look out the window and then they die. But if the things have weight and mass, it should break the window to get to them to.
So would this?
Go
so
crazy.
would it have been better for you if you had seen the creature in a quiet place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then they would be moving around. Because now there's just it's magical. They're anywhere or nowhere all at once.
I would have. Well, I don't know if I wanted to see a creature, but I would have liked to have seen some of the things that people are. Some of the
or a blur.
What if they were showing up as the things?
Give me a blur. Give me a predator blur. That's all. I don't even need to see what it is. Just like smoke or something. I don't know anything. It wouldn't really matter.
I'll tell you. So that the scene you're talking about, to me, it's one of the better. It's besides the very opening chaos scene. It's the best scene with the people storming in the house, and And there's that one scene, and Lisa, you've got to relate to this character. The one poor lady who is getting her eyes like forced open to watch this, horrific thing. Just seems like that's basically your life on this podcast.
It's like a Clockwork Orange, where you end up killing yourself.
Me and Nate are basically just getting your eyes open and saying, look at the truth.
You guys are Gary.
Yeah, we're Gary.
Gary.
There is not a good...
Y'all are horrible people.
There is not one good person in a movie named Gary.
No,
They're all bad.
Oh, what?
Other than SpongeBob's sidekick, Gary the Snail.
Oh, Gary.
Remember that classic character, Glenn Ross?
God.
Yikes.
So yeah, I really like that scene. I mean, they murder the guy murders the birds.
He doesn't murder the bird. He tries to murder them.
Well, he has this crazy artwork.
He tries to murder them in the worst possible way, the slowest possible
freeze
way.
them to death.
Sad.
You can snap a bird's neck really quickly.
God damn, Patricia.
Wow.
My friend told me that's how that works, right? Totally.
It's like
This is coming from the person who had a baby chick.
I did. I had a pet chicken for a while.
Yeah.
In Madam President.
You said.
And how did the chicken die?
Well, we had to give her to a farm.
His neck got mysteriously snapped.
I'm just wondering.
Uncaught to this day.
No, she was very strong. She was part of an experiment in my biology class. We had to inject her with testosterone.
She was strong when she was fighting against you.
She was very aggressive, so we had to give her away to a farm.
Oh,
a farm. Upstate.
I just keep thinking about Dumb and Dumber, the first one where the blind kid is given the dead bird or whatever. He's like, oh, pretty bird. And then he finds out he's like dead.
Yeah.
That's what you do. The guy just like murders and gives it to like the blind kid.
I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast, but I actually owned some birds.
I was about to say a dead bird. That's not good.
I owned some birds at one point, and then they flew away. So then,
so you didn't have a box for them, is what you're saying?
I did not have a box. That was crucial. So then we got ducks. My friend and I got some ducks, and so we had a nice pen for them, and we had like basically an in-ground pool for them.
Joey and Chandler
with
over here.
water, and then his dog broke through our fence and killed all of the ducks.
Oh my god!
But wait, can't ducks fly?
And they were babies. They were like little small ones.
Oh, Nate, why the hell are you telling us this?
Because
no wonder you're so desensitized to everything you see.
It just goes to show that there's so many ways you can kill a bird other than putting it in the freezer.
Oh god, sick of dog. No, I was very sad when that happened.
Oh my gosh!
You know what? This is probably why I don't like dogs. Because the dog killed them.
Look, we're peeling the onion back. We're learning things about Nate.
If you wanted to hear karma, that dog died by getting hit by a train.
And you probably laughed.
I didn't laugh, but I was like,
how did the dog get in front of the train, Nate?
I don't know.
His gate was just mysteriously left open.
But my duck chest Rockwell
I love it.
was avenged that day. So.
Within 5 minutes, we have no less than 2 potential
animal murder
accusations
on
the table.
So going back to Gary, though,
the snail or the person.
For real, though, I thought the theory was the reason that some of these people were like, see the truth, feel the truth, was because they were already crazy and they were maybe hallucinating really horrible things anyway. So once they saw the truth, it didn't matter.
They said they were from the insane asylum up the road. So it's like,
I didn't actually know those things still existed.
But see, the thing is, like, people in insane asylum have totally different like illnesses. So it's just like, oh, your brain's a little different. Oh,
like some of them might just have seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, I'm addicted to painkillers. Oh, too bad. Now you make people see invisible basilisks that make you kill yourself.
But then the other confusing thing is, who were those people? So when what's his name died, there were people who were just driving around. Yeah, when Moonlight died.
Well, yeah. So then
were they crazy?
At
too?
one point in the river timeline, there's like a guy, like it was like a ginger guy, right?
Yeah, in the water.
Ginger guy.
He seemed crazy.
He was going after her like an insane person, and then he got macheted in the neck, right? So then that guy is really disorganized, and then you got like SEAL Team Dicks or whatever, like massively coordinated insane people,
Yeah, I
like
don't know.
tactically covering each other with guns. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I didn't
It
get
made
that
no sense
either.
to me.
Yeah.
I hated that. I hated it. And poor Moonlight died because of those stupid insane people were there.
Because the leaves blew, I guess.
Yeah, the happening is
happening.
That's happening.
Yeah, that's happening.
The
You really want to do that movie so bad.
I do.
Now.
There were a bunch of deaths in this movie. Any standouts? Any standout deaths wise?
Well, Moonlight, since you keep bringing it up
Moonlight.
over and over.
The woman that walked into the flaming car.
Yeah, well, you gotta go over it. So the Moonlight. What was so memorable about it?
It's devastating. What do you mean? Now Sandra Bullock is alone with boy and girl. They had a nice little family unit going, and now it's destroyed.
And you know both kids liked Moonlight way better.
And
right?
definitely.
I mean, this is obvious.
He tells them about trees. He tells them about all sorts of important things.
And then as soon as he's gone, let's go down the river. Okay, sure. I mean, I guess that was her only option at that point, but. So that was sad. And then the lady who was helping them give birth was also, I don't know why that one was just, it's super, she was like the chillest person in the house. And then she just died. And BD Wong's death is sad too, because it just seems so stupid. No, I swear, guys, it's going to be fine to look in the cameras. I promise. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah,
I'm on his side, though. I would have looked in the camera.
Okay, yeah. What transmit? God, I hate this movie. He looks at a security camera of an invisible thing and kills himself. How is this possible? It goes through electrical circuits.
Apparently so. Yes, that was the experiment, and it failed.
This is so worthless.
That's probably how I would have died, and I would have gone out mocking everyone who thought that it was a bad idea.
Hold on. Now the car went backward in the when they got the GPS thing attached to them. Was there a backup camera? Because then they would all
covered
die.
it.
Oh, they covered. Oh,
right?
that's right.
Didn't they cover it?
Did they cover it? Okay.
Yeah, they couldn't actually see out. Just hear the sensors.
Okay. That'd be hilarious. Like after all that, you're back. You look, oh man, the line's I'm dead.
Shit.
Oh, and I'm ramming everyone.
But let's be real. GPS systems are not that accurate.
They're not that sensitive.
He's like, oh, I shouldn't have got a car with Apple Maps in it. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Like it drove him right to the door.
And we're in a river.
It took him right to the door.
Yeah, that's impressive.
That was the point when they were getting out to go into the grocery store. I'm like, this is going to go to hell because they're all going to go in different directions. Like they weren't hold on to each other. They were like, all right, let's go find the door.
Because when everyone's killing themselves and society is crumbling, that's when the GPS gets real accurate.
Right.
And the power lasts for years. You see that? They still have power in those houses later on?
Well, if no one shuts you off.
I don't get it.
Well, I mean, but that was
there's power plants that need to be managed.
But that was the thing at A Quiet Place too. It was the same way. They had lights and
they had generators. They were like a self-sufficient farm or whatever.
The whole place had generator. Come on.
Yeah, it was a bunch of farmers. The farmers had generators all over the place. I used to work on a farm. They had generators.
But dude, generators don't last forever.
Yeah, they don't last forever. But it was only day
it was like day 400.
Day 400 or something. Yeah, a generator lasts a long time.
I think generator will power a house for over a year.
They used it sparingly. I mean, only at night.
It felt like they had those twinkle lights on the entire time.
LEDs.
I don't know.
And
they were using fires.
She was using a washing machine. Those aren't noisy.
That's true.
Well, let me
Sorry, we went off on a tangent.
It's fine. Let me ask you a question. So your only hope is to go down this river, and they're telling you someone has to look. I mean, are you going on this trip, or you're going to find another way? Because honestly,
do I have a spare kid? That's not mine.
Oh wow! Like which kid do I like the least, and then that's the one that's going out.
Yeah. Well, wow. I guess maybe in this case, maybe you found another one. I don't know.
Send the chicken first. That's what she's doing. Send the chicken.
Doesn't have to be a kid.
Yeah. I just, for me personally, every time I get into a canoe or a boat, it flips.
Oh my God. Yeah,
I didn't need a hillbilly coming attacking me. I would have flipped on my own. So
you would not have been going. Although, to be fair, there's no way this boat would not have flipped over in rapids.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
even
unlikely.
Looking. There's
unlikely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, ballsy move to just say no. No one's looking. We're gonna do this. And then,
well, hell, can those like ghost things go on water?
Sure, why not?
Because they apparently have mass when they sink. What if the water is not?
But they can also get to a second-story window.
Yeah.
Wait, why do you think they have mass?
Because they set off the motion sensors for the car. If there were ghosts, you just drive through it.
But so do birds. I'm sure if a bird flew in front of your car, it would set off the motion sensor, and they're not on the ground.
Has mass.
But birds have mass. They have weight. That's what you're sensing.
But just because they have mass doesn't mean they're going to sink. It could still have mass and fly.
What about your ducks? Your precious ducks? Did you learn nothing?
Yeah,
they float on water.
Fine,
like
they're invisible.
Witches.
It could be a newt.
They're witches.
Which can survive in an aquatic and terrestrial environment.
That could be an otter.
Oh, the otters would, first of all, never be evil. Okay, how dare you?
I didn't say evil. I just said float.
You?
Yeah. How do you know these things are evil? They're just showing you your like worst fear and
making everyone die. I guess.
Yeah, but maybe that's just them. Maybe they want friends and no one's going to be their friend.
They want friends.
Maybe they're very lonely. They're very lonely,
man.
killing things. So when she finally gets to this island, she of course gets separated from the kids, and the thing now can whisper to people to try to get you to take off your.
What the fuck? Which means it has to have vocal cords. Where are these invisible vocal cords?
I thought it was triggering some sort of hallucination, though, right? Because it wasn't whispering with its own voice, right?
Right.
Look. If it could do that, we would all just be dead. If you see it and you die, and then it whispers to you and it causes hallucinations, we basically have no chance.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it caused hallucinations when it whispered, but it was just trying to convince them that it was that person.
Sure, but I'm saying if it can do that, it could do almost anything.
But they were clearly all hearing different whispers, right? Or at least that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like an auditory hallucination.
But that is a small glimpse into what it does. Like you were saying, you wanted to actually see how it was affecting people. Maybe that's how it affected people. Well,
let me ask you this: you're out here, you have your blindfold on. What does this thing have to whisper to you for you to go? Yeah, I'm gonna take a look.
Because
nothing.
No,
nothing.
But that's a good point, because the woman that got in the burning car, for all we knew, she saw her mom or something. It was like, hey, if you want to be with, like, get in the car and drive to me, honey. And they got in the car,
Yeah.
But what would they have to whisper?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh,
nothing.
You're telling me that if they took on the sound of your child screaming for your help,
well, if I'm
you
Sandra
wouldn't
Bullock,
react?
If I'm Sandra Bullock, first of all, I don't like my kid.
She loved those children, and
eventually.
Debatable.
When she found other people who
I just
watch
wanted to
them.
know how long was this line that she had? It was like hundreds of feet long.
Yeah.
From her boat to
was it fishing line?
Fishing line, I think.
Yeah, it was like a lot.
Yeah,
it was very far. I don't know. The more I think about it, the least sense it makes. But I don't think this movie is supposed to make sense. I think it's just supposed to be
Sandra Bullock.
An experience with Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Sandra
Bullock. Experience with Sandra Bullock.
As her friends call her.
My girl, Sandy.
Yeah.
Okay, so she finally makes it to the safe place. It is what I think, Lisa, you correctly guessed about halfway through the movie. What about the blind people? Oh, they're fine because they can't see.
Yeah, I said in the land of the ghosts, the blind teacher is king.
Very profound.
Because it was a teaching school.
It
was a teaching school.
Yeah.
A teaching school? That's usually what schools do, teach.
Yeah.
But it's a blind school for the blind. Jesus. Oh.
Yeah, so they're fine. They're living in harmony with the sighted people.
Yeah, but can't they get whispered to also?
Well, but it can't do anything to them.
Well, and they have some kind of indoor, I don't know, like
they were in a courtyard, but was the courtyard open?
But
it
was closed in, right? There was some kind of roof.
Well, there was some way for light to get through, which would
means that you could see them, which means that you would die. Because you looked the one lady looked through a window and killed herself.
Do you think frosted glass? Where do you think frosted glass is?
I don't know.
Vis-a-vis death.
Well, don't check it with a video camera to see, because clearly that won't matter.
But yeah, so the video camera screen, not good. Frosted glass,
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make
some
any
nice
sense.
accents.
What level of tint in your car windows is okay? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
And then she finally names them. I don't remember what. It doesn't matter.
She did not name them what her friend wanted to name the girl.
Oh, man. No. She's dead. Who cares?
She gave her mother's name.
But not the name her mother wanted for her.
Yeah.
And then she named the boy after Moonlight.
To be fair, that's her. That's
dude. Hold on. If your
look,
kid's named Moonlight, that's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you should have named him,
Moonlight Junior. But here's the thing about the naming the girl. She barely likes her own kid. So why would she give a better name or a decent name to the other kid she likes even less and considered killing earlier, or like having her sacrifice herself? Yeah, she's lucky she got a name.
True.
That wasn't like shit stain or something.
I think y'all are underestimating how much she actually loved these
I think she
children.
loved them.
Eventually she did. Once she had a supportive community who helped to raise her.
Yeah,
she didn't give a crap about these children. She wouldn't have raised them.
She was scared to be vulnerable.
The doctor from the beginning was there. The doctor did her own child services and took those kids right after the credits rolled. I'm just gonna go grab these kids and look after them forever, and Sandra Bullock can do whatever the hell she wants.
I know CPS doesn't exist right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and fill in these.
A citizen's child,
citizen's arrest.
Exactly.
I said at the beginning of the podcast. I said it again. When she realized that they were not going to win a scholarship to college and make it the pros, she was like, these kids got nothing for me.
Oh, and then she adopted another kid after these kids get taken from her.
Oh shit. I know we're not doing single seconds, but let me ask you this. What if one of the other kids at this blind school is like the blind side and they have like a little intramural football thing?
Yeah.
And that's how they're going to be, and she like adopts like the star running back kid, right?
So this is a prequel to the Blind Side.
It's Blind Side meets The Longest Yard. Instead of a prison, they're in a school for the blind.
But here's the thing. We have been giving her a lot of crap for not naming those kids, but in their world, they're the only two people named girl and boy.
So for all they know, those are legit names. Yeah. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I still think you give people just normal names.
Yeah.
What is normal?
Not boy and girl in this new world.
So then she'll name them Normal. That's the kid's name now. Thanks. Lisa, I have one more question for you. Which logic makes more sense in a movie? This movie or Mom and Dad?
Oh, why are you bringing up the cage? I don't even know
because the
why
logic
you're
in
going
that
there.
was interesting, and the logic in this was interesting. It's about even in my mind, so I was wondering which one made more sense just logically for you. And so for people who haven't seen Mom and Dad, Nick Cage and Selma Blair try to murder their own kids because of some thing on
all
TV.
parents.
Ooh, what if this
all
is connected?
parents turn on their kids.
Yeah, all parents turn on their kids.
Yeah.
What if this is connected?
What if the invisible ghosts are really all look like Nick Cage? That would be terrible.
What if your greatest fear is Nick Cage?
So you're okay and Mom and Dad with not seeing whatever the thing was, but not okay with not seeing it here?
Well, it was consistent. All the parents try to murder their kids. So
this is consistent. Everyone who sees it.
No, there's people.
Not everyone.
There's people who are
that's true.
Tactically crazy. People who are
But
insane.
in Mom and Dad, I'm pretty sure it didn't affect non-parents. So it wasn't everyone.
It was his biological parent. Like parents try to kill their own kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why would it affect dads? I could see where it would affect mom, like biological mothers, because you've gone through some sort of.
Because you can't have a movie with Nick Cage without him going insane.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
Legally required
Checks
at this
out.
point.
Okay, so let me ask you this: you're in Bird Box, and then we'll move on to the next segment. You're in Bird Box. You do look at it, and in the far back of this lot, all you see is Nick Cage going, "It's time to steal the Declaration of Independence." Are you just jumping off a building? Then is that?
That's actually what it would take to get me to pull my blindfold off.
Oh,
That's the whisper.
If you heard Nick Cage, just be like, "Come on!"
I'd be super excited. Couldn't help myself.
Get in the cage.
Bird Cage. Well, I was already taken. Wow. If these movies are related, so I need to go back and watch Birdcage again, because if they're related in any way,
we really just need to start doing like every movie, but with Nick Cage. And how
Yeah.
can Nick Cage make this movie better? Is there anything else you want to say about this movie?
No.
Why don't we then look? This movie had some issues, and I think these characters were in some tough situations, but it could be worse.
Could be worse.
Not that bad.
For me, it's all about perspective. It's what you make of it.
Yeah, so you're one of the blind teachers at this thing. You're trying to help counsel these people. Help them out. How could anything in this movie be worse? Nate, we'll start with you.
Well, I mean, if you are the teacher in that school, I mean, don't you got to feel great? Right? You're just like, you know what? My whole life, everything's been difficult. I got made fun of when I was a little kid. I couldn't go outside, couldn't do all this shit. Now, look who is top dog here.
Oh, yeah. I can read Braille.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I'm crushing it. You're just taking nice leisurely strolls outside.
Oh.
Not a care in the world.
Except for the tigers running around.
Well.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw a big hitch in that play.
You gotta watch out for the
tiger.
Gotta watch out for tigers. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be worse. You know what? This is crazy, but wouldn't you just blind yourself?
No, because once you go in a building, you can see. You could still read. I guess
you need a partnership, between the sighted and the non-sighted.
Yeah. You could still watch videotapes.
It could be worse. There could be no blind people. Then you're hosed.
Then you're definitely hosed.
That's what I'm going. Thank goodness for blind people.
Yeah, I want to say they're stuck in that house, and John Malkovich is really pissed about it. He doesn't want all these extra people in there. Could be worse. He could be stuck in a house with like Gilbert Gottfried, with Fran Drescher.
I knew you were gonna go Fran Drescher.
Roseanne. And I mean, yeah. Could you imagine? I mean, you would just be like, fuck, I'm looking. I'm just ripping the paper down, and I'm looking. You're either murdering yourself or you're murdering everyone in that room.
Like everyone votes to let somebody in, and it's like Andy Dick. He's like, I'm out. You know what? Carrot Top just came in. Ooh, I'm out of here. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for
fucking
playing.
Steve-O from Jackass is there. You're like, I'm in the bad place.
All right.
Lisa, how could this?
To me, the way it would be worse is if I was alone. Because at least if I have someone, you can kind of support each other. But like, that's why I felt for the second pregnant lady that came to the house, because she was like totally alone. I'm like, she is unbelievably brave to be out there by herself with a blindfold, just feeling around trying to get some help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that to me would be way worse.
There you go.
I know she ends up with just 2 children and that's her support system for a little while, but even that is better than being totally alone, I feel like.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay. And Patricia, how could this be worse?
So I'm kind of going along with you, Mitch. I mean, Sandra Bullock got to spend 5 years with super sexy Tom, just doing their thing together, whatever they wanted. He inspired her to go scavenge some lingerie. They were clearly having a good time, right? Yeah. Could be worse. She could have been stuck with someone like Jeremy Jam from Parks and Rec.
Oh God.
That could have been her life partner.
You just got jammed.
Yeah.
Just on repeat for 4 years.
He sees there in the lingerie and he like, I jammed myself. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You could have been stuck with, I mean, and you have to make do, right? Like Lisa says, anybody's better than nobody. So like,
yeah.
Well, and no one, and, I mean, there were other women there. No one fought her for, one girl went off with Machine Gun Kelly super quick. So that happened. I mean, that pairing happened real quick, but like, she didn't have to like fight for this. It just worked out for her. So
And she was pregnant. I mean, she has some game. It takes a lot to.
It is Sandy Bullock, though.
That's true. She can do no wrong.
No. Well, she's probably like, don't worry about this kid. As soon as it's out, it's not going to be.
Care about
it's going to be someone else's problem.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all great. So I think what we want to talk about now, though, is Bird Box as a horror movie. It's kind of an easy sell.
Yeah.
I wonder, though, what other genre could we spin Bird Box into?
All right, here the wheel goes.
Wheel of genre, turn.
So, currently, what is it? It's a thriller horror movie.
Yeah.
But what would you do with Bird Box as an action film?
An action film? Oh, man. All right, so I think, for me, it doesn't stop when she gets to the blind palace. They got to find out that the crazies have found, they're all part of it because they have found some like ancient relic thing, some Mayan relic that's what controls it. And so she's going to train these blind people, Sandra Bullock is, with assault rifles and everything, to storm the compound.
What is a blind person?
And they all have to use their extra senses. And it, just explodes and shit everywhere. It collapses. That's how humanity's saved.
Okay. Wow.
Done.
That's impressive.
That is how
Lisa action movie. Bird Box the action movie.
That may in fact be Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I haven't finished playing the game.
I knew it sounded familiar.
Seems pretty close. Sandy Bullock's Lara Croft in this.
Yeah.
I don't know. As an action movie, it had plenty of action.
It had plenty.
Yeah.
No, it didn't have.
No, pitches is like if you were trying to pitch this more as an action than a horror
lot of people
film.
talking in a house.
I don't know.
Well, what would you have thrown in? Fine, it doesn't have to be an action movie. Throw in an action sequence that would have been good. How about that? So we have kind of like the world's slowest car chase. We have a river rapid ride. That's action-y.
Honestly, one thing that would have been interesting, because you can't really use guns in this scenario unless you're willing to look, unless you're a crazy person. But a fist fight, but like, kind of like a Kill Bill fist fight, but with two people with blindfolds would have been interesting.
Oh, hell yeah.
A blindfold
solid.
fight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That'd be tight.
Can one of the two people be John Malkovich?
John
if he could pull that
Malkovich, and it's like, he's like a really like dramatic blindfold tie in the back, right? Like, and then you just go to town.
What if it's a fight, but it's on the on like dueling boats, like going down the river, like whoever gets here first gets in, and it's like it's just you or me, and they can't see, and they're just going back and forth on the boat as they're about to go over a cliff.
That would have been intense.
That's awesm too.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, Nate, what
are you coming to me? Jeez, now you guys took everything. I think I want to take. All right, fine. You know what? Screw it. The people who in this movie who were the closest to action people were the people who saw whatever the hell those things are and wanted to show everybody else. This could have been, those guys could have been Mad Max level.
Yep.
Imagine them marauding around, like making people go kill themselves. But like, they got trucks. No one else can see anything. They can take literally all vehicles, all whatever. Maybe someone in the insane asylum knows how to fly a plane. All of a sudden, you're flying a plane, a la Mission Impossible, dropping onto the glass ceiling of the blind people's school, and then you go in and show everybody. That would be awesome.
The problem with what you just said is that you mentioned Mad Max, and I immediately was just wondering if there's going to be a blindfolded dude shredding guitar as they're driving around with flames coming out. That'd be pretty tight.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the Halo parachute thing.
What if they're just driving monster trucks?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That's the thing.
Who needs the GPS shit? Just drive. You'll get
just drive over.
You're just driving Gravedigger all around the country. Patricia, what about you? How are you going to make this? How are you going to pitch this as an action film?
Okay, so first of all, and this is critical, you add Keanu Reeves.
Goddamn, yes.
Okay.
I'm already
basically, they've already made this film. You just take Speed and you put a blindfold.
Goddamn, that's good.
Maybe even Speed 2. Maybe both of them. Just.
I like
Speed 2 cruise control is the boat on the right.
Yeah. I mean, there's really a Sandra Bullock film for everything, including another iteration of a Sandra Bullock film.
A Sandra for all occasions.
Yes.
Yeah. A Sandra for all seasons.
Yeah.
But Keanu Reeves is the most important part of that formula.
I feel like Keanu Reeves would have to be the
blind house.
Would have to be the blind house, and he's the guru she's been trying to find.
No, then they time travel to stop people.
Oh shit!
But
hold on.
Yeah,
in the Matrix, he goes blind at one point. Doesn't
this is
he?
a glitch in the Matrix.
God, yes. This is all of it. Yes. I love it.
Take the bird pill. Everything
If
works
anyone
out.
has contacts at Netflix, we have so many ideas to pitch.
Let us. I mean, they got money for just about anything. Let us give us some of that money, and we will
help us help Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
They need a lot of help right now. A lot of help. And they're raising their prices. I mean, come on. There you go.
Well, yeah, because their biggest competition is Fortnite.
That's true.
All right. So with all that said, I guess it's time to ask you, what is your final cut?
Final cut.
Patricia, as our unsuspecting victim, what would you give this movie out of 10 and then whatever scale you want to use?
Okay. Well, first of all, I have pretty terrible taste in movies. Just going to throw that out there right now.
No,
And,
you don't. The person sitting right next to you has terrible taste in movies. You're fine.
Okay.
You have terrible taste in movies, Lisa?
Shut up.
Hit that siren. Yeah. I'm going to pay for that later.
Live with me, you know that, right? Sorry, Patricia, go ahead.
That was great.
So, first of all, not great horror movie taste. Second of all, love Sandra Bullock. Love me some Sandy.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to give this 8 out of 10 feet of fishing line.
Like times 100, maybe. 800.
Nice.
So 8 out of 10. Okay, so this is up
Love
there
it.
with. So what would you rate?
This is a classic.
So okay, you say you have terrible
They're going to be
taste in
studying
movies.
this in film school 50 years
So
from
what
now.
is okay? Hold on. So what?
Where does this rank among other movies?
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
like, where's Miss Congeniality compared to this?
That's also an 8 out of 10.
Also,
well, okay. So you say
hold on. What's Ocean's 8?
Oh gosh.
Is Ocean's 8
That's
also
like a
an
9.5 out of 10.
Whoa. Okay. All right.
Is there any Sandra Bullock movie that's less than an 8? I guess All About Steve, now that we said, but I haven't seen it.
She's like, 7.8.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, The Proposal was fantastic.
That's fantastic. Oh, Ryan
Well, give
Reynolds.
me. You say
classic
terrible movies, non-Sandra Bullock movies. Where does this slot? Give me a movie that's right above and right below it. I want to know where in the range.
Yeah.
Does this fit? Because Sandra Bullock movies, I get you, they're all high, but
Okay, so I actually liked this better than A Quiet Place.
Okay.
I would put it maybe not in terms of world building, but in terms of enjoyability.
Okay.
Above The Quiet Place. And then I guess it's, well, gosh, if you've cut out all Sandra Bullock movies, I don't really.
What's left?
What is left, really?
I don't really watch anything else.
You're like top 3, Gone with the Wind,
Marvel movies, and then Sandra Bullock movies.
In that order, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. So for me, it was okay. I'm going to give this 6 out of 10 crazy psychos. A little double thing. It was good. It was enjoyable. I agree. It left a lot considering what we've kind of talked about with the weird rules, and there's sort of these like threads. They're like, oh, so now we have these crazy people running around. That we're just going to throw that in there now, inexplicably. And I disagree. I think I liked A Quiet Place better. I just thought the tension was a lot better. I think probably for a lot of the reasons we said. It's you didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know who was going to die. You had a sense it's like, oh, well, I guess they're the only 3 left. So everyone's kind of dead. So I'd give it 6 out of 10. Lisa.
I'm also going to do 6 out of 10 birdies.
Birdies.
Yeah.
Birdies.
I agree with you as well. I think from a horror movie perspective, A Quiet Place is scarier. You actually see the creatures in that one, and sometimes that works out well, and sometimes it doesn't. I think for A Quiet Place, it did work out well.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, as Nate said, in this one, it worked to their disadvantage that it was just wind rustling some leaves.
Leaves are scary. Leaves are terrifying.
But 5 points go to Sandy Bullock because she's my
5 points.
She's my favorite too. As
Really?
soon as I saw
Okay.
and not saying something, right? Because they were like, oh, Sandra Bullock's in a horror movie. I'm like, all right, I don't really want to watch it, but I want to watch Sandra Bullock, so I'm going to watch it.
Okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
I wish we had got comedy because I would have just done
And
this
that's-
movie, but with Melissa McCarthy.
That movie, that improves the movie for me. That improves it.
She's just sitting on the boat like, come on, kids, just God.
I just want to say that Sandra Bullock is also a very accomplished comedian. So I disagree.
She could have done it in a comedy
I love
style.
Melissa McCarthy, but let's not.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, Nate.
Oh, I'm going to bring this down real quick. So I guess, okay, so fine. My favorite Sandra Bullock movie is probably The Heat.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
That would be
with
maybe
Melissa McCarthy.
That would be maybe like an 8. 8.5 for me. That movie is fantastic.
Yeah.
This movie, I would say, is maybe about half as good. So I'll give it a 4. 4 out of 10 boat rides.
Patricia looks like she's about to punch you.
The logic didn't make sense. The characters. So Sandra Bullock's character, I think, was okay. And I liked Moonlight. And the kids were believable.
As kids.
But the logic
they were very believable children.
They were children. Hey, sometimes kids are terrible actors. I just didn't like the logic
the monsters.
or the world or how it made any sense.
So we didn't.
They were in the house way too long.
Yeah.
So they were in the house for about half the movie. And I wish there would have been a little bit more going on.
Yeah.
They did cut back to it. I think that's why they did the movie that way, because they were in the house for so long. They had to do like the cutbacks on the river to give it a little bit of like pace and moving forward. But I just don't
bet
like
Patricia's right. I bet that's probably from the book thing. I bet it does go back and forth in the book, and they just kind of kept to that. It makes a lot more sense from a book perspective, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't think it was it didn't grab me as much. I would have preferred it to be linear. So 4 out of 10 for me.
And what was your ranking on A Quiet Place?
I think I gave it like an 8.
Okay.
So.
Just curious because I didn't listen to that episode. I didn't want to get spoiled because I hadn't seen it yet.
All right, well, that is going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Patricia, thank you so much for joining us for this one.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Any other Sandra Bullock related movies?
Yeah, next time Sandra Bullock's in another horror movie, we'll have you on for sure to defend her honor.
Once actors go into the Netflix like world, they tend to come back.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if they were going to do Bird Box 2, I'm sure it would be very lucrative. So
probably. Nate, where can they find us?
Yeah, so you can find us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com. You can check out this episode and all our previous episodes, leave comments, and look at Mitch's amazing HTML handiwork.
Oh,
you can tweet us at TXPodMassacre on Twitter. We're on Instagram, Facebook. Leave us reviews on iTunes. We really appreciate that. And email us at texaspodcastmassacre@gmail.com and we'll get back to you.
All right. Well, from all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.